1981 was a memorable year for Bill Rogers. The Texan won 7 times worldwide, was named PGA Player of the Year and was a member of a victorious American Ryder Cup team. But his greatest achievement came on the links of Royal St George's in the Open Championship.
A professional golfer with confidence is a little bit dangerous because they can accomplish and do some pretty extraordinary things, and that's where I was. Having finished in the second at the Open, I had a ton of confidence. I was never one, even after winning the Open Championship, never was one to say, well, I'm going to win this week. But I always built off of confidence, and I obviously after the Open Championship, I thought I was kind of bulletproof, just operating with a huge amount of confidence. And that ultimately played out in winning more and, just lots of good stuff.
You could say that fate or blind luck played a key role for Rogers at the very start of that Open Championship. Had it not been for a member of the media, things may have turned out very differently.
My caddy kind of played a part in that as well. We kind of lost track of time, obviously, and from the practice tee to the putting green was a good fair bit of distance, and we get to the putting green and obviously are a little late, of which we weren't aware. And whatever, I was just going through my practice routine on the putting green, and the next thing I know, a reporter from one of the magazines or newspapers there in England, a fellow named John Whitbread, I'll never forget his name, walks up and he says, Bill, I think that you're pretty close to your tee time. And sure enough, I look over at the tee box, which is a pretty good clip from the putting green, and my group is on the tee, and I am late. So we run over there, and I just barely made it to my tee time on time. So that could have, had he not walked out there, there's no question I'd have missed my tee time.
The fact that Rogers nearly missed that first round tee time didn't seem to weigh on his mind as he started his 72-hole journey around the famous links of Royal St George's.
Really, from the first tee shot that day, and I always would have to say that, I'd played nice in the practice rounds. One thing, I loved links golf. I love British golf. And Thursday, I played a good round of golf, and, I was, of course, the gift of youth, and, it's what you do, it's what you want to do, you're where you want to be. Everything's great. I mean, I think maybe the only negative thing that week was that my wife wasn't with me. She was back in the States. But, my spirits were good. When you're good mentally and you're playing well, it's on. And Thursday through Saturday, I just each round began to build this, this kind of confidence. Allowed myself to not get in the way and just kind of this good play to take over. And Saturday I shot 66. It had built a 5-shot lead that Saturday round.
Bill's superb form through the first 3 rounds set him up perfectly for Sunday. That said, this was a completely new experience for the American, who wasn't entirely sure how he'd cope with this new level of pressure.
I'd never led any championship by 5 shots, and it's where you want to be. It's a good spot to be. However, you've put yourself in a spot that's yours to win or lose. It's not like you're coming from behind or protecting a small lead. I mean, everybody knows that leader by 5, he should win the Open Championship. Well, I woke up that Sunday, and I just sensed a little bit of difference in my demeanor and kind of my, my thoughts about the day, and worked really hard at not trying to get out in front of myself. I got through the first 6 holes, and I was really not the same player I had been the first 3 days. And on the 7th hole, what I think proved to be the easiest hole during the week, par 5, I ended up making a double bogey. And everybody who now was back in the tournament. I was leader by 1. Everybody was back in the tournament. So walking to the 8th tee, kind of had that self-talk and that pep talk to myself. Said, you've played too good a golf to allow this one hole, these first 6 holes of this day, to ruin what you've done the previous 3 days. So in effect, maybe a Texas term, I pulled myself up by the bootstraps and was able to right the ship. And the 8th hole happened to be the hardest hole in the golf course, and I hit a good tee shot. It was a long hole, and in fact had a 3-iron into the green and hit my approach shot kind of on the front third of the green, but still had like a 65-foot putt. And I hit a pretty good lag putt up about 3.5 feet, and I made that putt. 2 weeks later, I saw Seve Ballesteros at a tournament, and he walked up to me and said, two putt on number 8, very important. He says, that's what won you the tournament. And, you know, arguably you could say that, because had I 3-putt, had I missed that, I could have, you know, possibly really been in a lot of trouble. But and then the next hole, I hit a brilliant 7-iron into the 9th hole and hit it within 2 feet and made that for birdie, and kind of felt like I was back in control. But that kind of 2 holes coupled together were very important.
Rogers rekindled the fire he'd had through the first 3 days on Sunday's back 9, holding off his rivals to win the Open Championship by 4 shots. That once-in-a-lifetime victory gave him an insight into the pressures and the emotions that come with being at the very top of your sport.
Oh, God. Well, there's nothing like it. I can tell you, as much as it is exhilaration and having won the tournament, it's a relief as well. And you know, one of the things at this stage of my life that I love to do, I'm a great sports fan. I'm a golf fan, tennis fan, all the sports fan, because I like to watch the moment of defeat or the moment of victory, because I can know what it feels like exactly. I know what it's like when a Federer wins the Wimbledon, the incredible, you know, exhilaration of having done it. That's the reason we play the game. And so anyway, I had the good fortune that I was able to make my way through there and enjoy, you know, one of the 4 major champions was the Open champion.